Our next speaker is here from the Rainbow Speakers. And I see you, Pikachu. We have representatives here really from all areas that are being affected. And with no further ado, I give you Rachel Holder.
Hello, and thank you so much for being here. I'll be honest, I made some plans for what to speak. I took some notes, and this morning I just wrote down all my feelings, and this is what I have for you today. My name is Rachel Artemis Holder. I'm a transgender woman. I'm a public library worker. I'm a member of the Social Justice Committee at the Unitarian Universalist Church in Monterey, where I also teach. I'm a member of the Central Coast Democratic Socialists of America. I am co-chair of the Monterey County LGBTQ+ Employee Resources Group. I've been in contract negotiations with the county as a member of the bargaining team for my union, SEIU 521. I've been a model, thank you, Lavisha. I've been an actress, thank you, Janice. I'm a public speaker and a member of the Rainbow Speakers, which is why I'm speaking before you today. And all of this I've only done in the past year and a half. And that's not a coincidence. A year and a half ago, I came out to the world at my own gender reveal party. It's not a surprise that this regime fears transgender people. When we're able to live our authentic selves, we are so powerful. When we're free of their oppression, we are unstoppable. And it's not a surprise that this administration fears you, because free of their oppression, you are unstoppable too. The queer and transgender community intersects with every community. I have transgender friends who are Black, Asian, Hispanic, and the fear I have for immigrant and the immigrant and Latino community is a fear I have for much of my community as well. I'm a Unitarian Universalist. We welcome congregants of all faiths, and I can't think of a single congregant who wouldn't agree that this is the least Christian administration in living memory. It is immeasurable in its cruelty, spitefulness, pettiness, and deceit. The callous disregard this administration has for the nation's people, be they citizen or not, documented or not, is unfathomable in scale. We must do everything in our power to restore the rule of law, save our democracy, and salvage what's left of our government after this regime's ransacking of our institutions, their pillaging of Social Security and Medicaid, yes, and the absolute devastation being inflicted on our economy. It hasn't even been 4 months. What's going to be left in 2 years? 4.
That's right. Impeach.
I'll tell you what will be left. We will. Yeah. We'll still be here. We can stand up for ourselves, for each other, and for our communities. Yeah. I want to tell you how this regime is attacking my community, the transgender community. Our new dictator ruled that we can no longer get documents, passports or social security cards that identify us as the gender we identify as. Yeah. We've been barred from restrooms which match our identities in federal buildings. Now, don't you think I'd stand out in the men's restroom? Men here, wouldn't it be awkward to find me there? I've had experiences early in my transition, not comfortable using the women's room yet, where men would just They would step in, and they would step right back out. Look at the sign on the door. Worse yet, we're being forced into men's prisons with trans women who've been convicted of a crime. And let me tell you, we all know that a conviction isn't required by this regime to put somebody in prison, to detain somebody.
Lack of due process.
In an absolutely horrifying miscarriage of justice. They've demanded an end to all transgender affirming care for anyone under the age of 19. Not under the age of 18, mind you, under the age of 19. That includes 18-year-olds. Now, I'll talk about kids in a moment, but first, they want to ban care for legal adults. It's not a coincidence. If they can ban it for adults who are 18 years old, they can ban it for people who are 20, 30, or any age. And let's not kid ourselves, that's what they want. They want us to disappear. They want to force us back into the closet. Now let's talk about kids under 18. This is something very dear to me. Something people who deeply care for me have disagreed on with little thought to the cruelty that would result in. It's 40% of transgender people have attempted suicide in their lives. Many of my friends have attempted in the past. For the same reasons that others do. They feel unloved, rejected, and not accepted for who they truly are. It's one thing to come out of the closet, and it's another thing entirely to be forced back in against your will. It's why I'm never going back to the way things were. Let me tell you, as powerful as I am, as powerful as I feel, I know that if I go back in that closet, I will die there, as so many children do. And imagine being a parent, loving and accepting your transgender child, wanting what's best for them, wanting to keep them safe, wanting to make them feel loved and supported, finding a doctor who wants the best for them as well, only to be stopped by a regime that would prefer your child dead rather than transgender. Now, these two executive orders that I've referenced so far have titles which start with defending women and protecting children. Let me tell you, nobody has done more to harm women than this administration. Their bans on abortion in states across this country have left women dying from sepsis in emergency room parking lots. It's led to hospital staff, nurses, and doctors fleeing red states where these barbaric bans have been passed. And nobody has done more to harm children than this administration, which has gutted assistance to impoverished children and families, weakened child labor laws, they've gutted the Department of Education, and separated children from their families. Can I also point out how so many of these men have been divorced from their wives and have lost custody of their children?
Right.
Like, really, if these people were sincere in their desire to protect women and girls, in sports, restrooms, and in society, then why do they target transgender women and girls who just want to play or just want to use the facilities? Why aren't they targeting the men in power who consistently have abused and violated the safety and privacy of women? Let me tell you, this administration is full of men who have just committed horrific abuses against women. It's horrifying. This regime has sought to ban transgender people from serving in the military. Now, I have very strong opinions on how our military and how our defense industry has been used to further perpetuate violence, particularly as it relates to the genocide in Gaza. I could talk circles on this for hours, but To the point of trans rights in America, this regime has slanderously claimed that transgender people are incapable of living humble, truthful, disciplined, and selfless lives. Now, look, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a very humble person. But our community, like all Americans, hold these values dear. And I don't know anyone more dishonorable, deceitful, and selfish than this president, this dictator, and the boot-licking lackeys that he's filled his administration with. Now, I'll confess, I've been deeply disheartened in the wake of these attacks to see some Democrats, like our governor, who should be leading the resistance, instead choosing to throw our community under the bus to appease this fascist movement overtaking our nation.
Bullshit!
And I've been deeply encouraged to see decent and caring people from elected officials, like Wendy, elected officials, judges, hospitals and universities, and everyday ordinary people standing up to defend us. We are in this together. Queer and transgender people stand with you to defend all of our rights. So what do we do? What's our call to action? We need to stand up and defend the institutions and elected officials who will fight back against this administration. When?
Now!
When and worryingly if we have elections, when and if elections approach, we need to work together to replace those politicians who vote for appeasement and replace them with fighters who will stand up for our rights. We need to join together in mutual aid groups to survive this regime and to protect our neighbors. Join a union and get involved in one in your workplace. And if you don't have one, join with your coworkers to form one. Join the DSA or get involved in local politics to keep hate out of our schools and communities, to help build up our leaders who are going to be fighting back, who are fighting back. Keep showing up to protests, and don't just march here, make connections. Ask organizers how you can get involved. We can survive this together, and when we win, we can rebuild this nation together. Thank you.